Clicking the go live button. All right, the red indicator light on the machine has gone on. I'm going to grab our share link from YouTube. Copy that. Put it in our notes doc. Right there. And grab the entire thing. And then I'm going to paste it in the chat for you all to share. And then I myself am going to go share it on Facebook and LinkedIn. And Ben, we're live. It's over to you.
All right. Well, hello, good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Virtual Coffee with Ben. My name is Ben Blackman. I'm the Director of Development for RIDG, that's Royal Innovation Design Group, a group of innovation consultants based in St. Petersburg, Florida. Before we get started, I once again want to encourage everyone to go to the RIDG YouTube channel and to our Facebook page, hit like and subscribe to share all the content. You can also find on our website our new free ebook. It's 7 Truths in the Age of Uncertainty, help guide your business through these crazy times that we're living in. And for those that are just joining us, this is Virtual Coffee with Ben. It's a web series where we talk about how companies innovate, strategically plan, and create a strong culture for their employees. And joining me today is Diana Flores. Diana is a graphic designer and the most senior member of the graphic design team for RIDG. She's actually a visual strategist. So there's a lot that she does. Instead of just drawing pictures, she's really extracting the key messages from our clients and making memorable experiences. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And joining me, of course, is Jorn Oppelt, Director of Creativity and Innovation for RIDG. He's here to help run the show. Good morning to you both. Hope you're doing well.
Hello.
Diana, I have had the pleasure of seeing your work over the past couple of months. Really love what you do with our clients. I'm interested today to learn more about your background, though, and the process by which you use to create such memorable experiences for the companies that we work with. And so I kind of want to go back to the beginning. In your college days, I know you went to South Florida and were a member of the American Marketing Association. How beneficial was that for you, and what advice do you have for other aspiring graphic designers that are out there that are looking to find their niche in the industry?
So it was super helpful because up until that point, hadn't been involved. I didn't really know anything about design or marketing. So it was great to be with a bunch of other people doing projects because, we worked with local businesses. We did events on campus. And so we were just super involved, and it was a great growth experience. And I think it catapulted me into being more of an actual designer because after joining the American Marketing Association after graduating college, I went into Add to Tampa Bay, which is a young professionals organization of marketing and advertising professionals. And they, again, are super involved in the community. They work with local businesses to do nonprofit campaigns. They do mentorship, all that. So I really think that for anyone who's like, I want to be, marketing or graphic designer and I don't know where to start, like those local organizations are the best place to start.
Fantastic. So how did you end up going from, your college days, you're learning graphic design, to ending up with RIDG? What was that path like that brought you to where you are now?
So it was kind of funny because I didn't even know what like RIDG did. I'd never heard of any company doing innovative work like that. I thought I'm going to be a graphic designer and I'm going to work in like Photoshop and that's it. And I was working at a traditional marketing company and I just felt like I needed a change. It was a lot of real estate work and it was a little bit of the same old, same old. And I came across I think it was Indeed job posting, and it just sounded so different. And I was like, I don't think I'm qualified at all for this job, but I'm just going to go ahead and apply.
So what are the big differences that you've seen going from kind of a traditional marketing shop to working with RIDG?
So I think the biggest difference is in a lot of traditional marketing places, obviously the creative people want to create, beautiful, amazing work. And a lot of times they're kind of brought brought back by a client that just wants, big red letters or bigger logos.
Hmm.
They might not necessarily have the same vision, but with
Hmm.
RIDG, I think RIDG is really able to show clients the value of having good visuals and good design, and like, no, you need things to really showcase your message.
Gotcha. If you're just joining us, we are talking with Diana Flores. She's a graphic designer and visual strategist for RIDG. If you like what you're hearing, click the like and subscribe buttons on YouTube and Facebook. We're talking about Deanna's progression into the world of graphic recording, which she's doing both analog and digital now. We'll get to that in a moment, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about your process. So we were talking about kind of the shift from a traditional marketing agency to working with RIDG, and I know that what you do is not just drawing pictures. You're excellent at doing that, but your goal is really to provide memorable experiences for our clients at conferences and events. So I'm curious about your process. How do you transform those really detailed business concepts and insights? And then how do you translate that onto the canvas?
So that's a really good question. And I actually get asked that a lot. Like when we're at events, it's like, how do you do this? And the biggest answer is always listening, really deeply listening to what people are saying and what messages they're trying to convey, and distilling that down into a fast visual.
Listening is always the key, right?
Ben, I've got a question because I know we've talked about this internally,
Sure.
but I wonder if you are speaking right now to aspiring graphic recorders, how much of your background as a graphic designer, composition, right, rule of thirds, all that, informs your work as a graphic recorder, and if so, how do you apply that to that other practice, that other discipline?
Yeah, I think definitely a lot of it is informed by my background, because I I feel like most of the other graphic recorders are actual artists. They paint, they draw, and they run nonprofits. And I come from a very different world. So like my way of making art is like, okay, I need to make sure things are centered and balanced. And like, I guess it's a less intuitive approach.
Interesting.
If
And
it's not, if it's less
yeah,
intuitive, what is it then? How would you describe your approach?
I think about it in terms of things like grids. In graphic design, the best thing to do is set up grids and make sure, like I said, things are balanced, that like the text hierarchies don't contrast too much. It's like you want things to be easily legible. You want your message to be quickly comprehended.
Dana, we were talking a little bit about how you do both analog work, so you're in your face-to-face meetings, in person, drawing on canvases, real large-scale murals, and now you've had to switch to doing a little bit more of the digital work, doing recordings via Zoom meetings and things like that in light of the pandemic and kind of the shift to more virtual work. Curious how that transition has affected your work at all. Are there new resources that you're using? Is your approach different at all to doing the work digitally as opposed to analog?
Oh yeah, definitely it's different. So the biggest resource for anybody doing sort of illustration or graphic recording digitally, I would say, is an iPad and Procreate, because Procreate really mimics the traditional drawing. You can download custom brushes to mimic like pens and markers and everything you would use on an analog board. And of course, YouTube and Instagram, like I'm always following other artists on there to see how they're doing things. If I see a really cool piece of art, I want to see like, how did that artist create it? And then I pick up new tips from them. But in terms of how it's different, I really enjoy working digitally more than analog, because I feel like I can iterate faster. I know I can zoom in and out and like move things from one side of the board to the other, and like I'm not afraid of just putting things down, because I know how quickly it is to erase and redraw.
I was just gonna say the erase feature of digital that would help me. I can't draw at all, but knowing that it wasn't permanent, I would probably have to go digital if I was required to do any of that work. Um, I
Ben, there are these things called erasers, and
Yeah, but it's
there's white
different when it's
tape and
digital.
whiteout. There's all kinds of
Completely
things.
completely wipe it away. I mean, if you're you're doing the analog work. Yeah, of course you can erase, but it's never quite really goes away, does it? I don't know. So Deanna, it's been a crazy year to say the least. 2020 is wild, completely unpredictable, but I'm gonna have to ask you to predict the future at least a little bit. Is there anything that's kind of coming in the world of graphic design, visual strategy that excites you? What should we keep our eyes peeled for?
I think the biggest thing I've seen is a lot more use of illustrative work. You know, a few years back, everything was very minimal and clean and sharp lines, and now you're seeing a lot more illustration and bright colors. And I've been seeing a lot more people start using animation, like Procreate even released a tool within its app that allows you to animate. So I'm excited to see what designers and artists use that for.
Fantastic. Anything that you're working on right now that you're super excited about?
Um, Right now, it's been kind of quiet on the design front. I'm excited to get back to working with RIDG. I know that they've got really exciting things coming up, so I can't wait to get back in with them and make really cool stuff.
We agree, and we love having you on board. Again, if you are interested in learning more about RIDG and want to see all the great work that Deanna and the other visual strategists on our team have done, you can find that at our website. There's a whole section on graphic recordings, and that can be found at ridg.com. That's RIDG.com. Again, you can also download our new free ebook, 7 Truths in the Age of Uncertainty. And again, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe for more videos like this. We'll be here every Wednesday morning talking about how companies innovate, strategically plan, and create strong culture for their employees. That's it for today. I really want to thank our guest, Diana Flores. I want to thank Jordan Oppeld again for running the show, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.